It was an interesting, not just the picture of Vladimir Putin, Michael, and Emmanuel Macron together in the same room at opposite ends of a very long table, but this is what has come out of it, an attempt to ease tensions anyway. Will it work?
Well, we'll see. I mean, we're still very much bogged down in the middle of this quagmire, which is Ukraine. And this is just the latest iteration, a bit of shuttle diplomacy by the French President Emmanuel Macron. Now, we know that first, yesterday, he went to Moscow and met for about 5 hours, one-on-one with Putin, and then had a now slightly notorious press conference around midnight. And then he flew today to Ukraine and met with the Ukrainian president. Now, the French president came away thinking he'd secured a couple of things. One is he thought that he'd secured an agreement for Russia to de-escalate in terms of its troops on Ukraine's borders. But while the French president was flying from Moscow to Ukraine, the Kremlin came out and said, no, we never said that we're pulling any troops back. We have every right to conduct every military exercise we want. The other thing that the French president came away with is a reinvigoration of what's called the Minsk Agreement. That was basically the peace deal, and I say that in heavy inverted commas, that was agreed to formally cease the hostilities on the Ukrainian border with the breakaway rebel republic or breakaway rebel territory. Now, the thing about the Minsk Agreement is that it agrees to end the conflict, but on terms that pretty heavily favour Moscow. And the parties to that are Ukraine, Russia, France, and Germany. Now, Macron came out of Moscow thinking that, well, we have this Minsk Agreement, or the Normandy Group, as it's called, back up and running. And that might be true because, let's face it, maybe one of the only ways out of this for the West is to actually concede to the Russians and to relinquish eastern Ukraine, Donbass and Crimea to Russia. Maybe that will be enough to satisfy Putin, but it will certainly create all sorts of other problems. And during the press conference that you referred to with Macron, Putin actually made a derogatory and slightly dirty remark towards the Ukrainians and the Ukrainian president. Roughly, it translates to, you may like it, you may not like it, but this is your duty, my beautiful. So he was basically saying, suck it up, buttercup, but with sexual overtone.
Okay.
So look, tensions haven't eased, but they're inching forward.
Okay.